This month, Volleyball South Africa held the internationally accredited FIVB Coaches Course, Level 1 in Bloemfontein. 30 coaches upgraded their national qualification to the internationally accredited course in order to be the first in line when coaching positions in all national teams become available. We're joined now by Michael Makhubela, Volleyball South Africa Vice President, to tell us more. Michael, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us, Gwena.
Let's start by unpacking the importance of this kind of coaching courses in a growing sport like volleyball.
Look, the FIVB Level 1 coaching course basically is about teaching the basic rules of volleyball, the techniques and the values of volleyball. We then teach them basically from the invention of the sporting code. And up until, they are then given the skills to then introduce the game to the beginners. So it really gives you, relevant coaching methods and exercises to really help players improve. So you then, as part of the aim, you then get the opportunity to be given, the theory of training and to be taught how to then improve, the skills and techniques of the game. Our approach as Volleyball South Africa is really to then find a unified common approach in terms of developing the sporting code in the country. But equally, we also want to ensure that our coaches are licensed and that they are able to teach the beginners the right techniques. So from the aims of the course, we believe as Volleyball South Africa that we've really achieved that, especially with the number of participants that we had and basically the passing rate that we had as Volleyball South Africa. We're very proud of the participants. And we believe that the objectives of the course have been achieved. I mean, the course of this nature was held about more than a decade ago. So for us to want to license our coaches, we are really investing in our human resource, and we want those coaches to go back and obviously implement what they have been taught in.
Michael, who qualifies for these courses? Is there any coach or anybody who is a volleyball coach, or can I also rock up and say I want to be part of the courses themselves?
No, you can't just really rock up when there's basic courses that you need to do in the country. So in the country, we've got what we call a volleyball level 1 coaching course and volleyball level 2 coaching course. Once you have attained level 1 and level 2 of VSA, you would then qualify to then go for the international accreditation coach. So how it's done, it starts basically at the provinces. The coaches must qualify within a province, then they then get to be upgraded to a national level. Then from the national, they go international. So you can't just rock up as Kwena and say, I've played volleyball at school, I'm capable of coaching, and therefore I want to go in. So there's systematic approach in terms of how we then identify these coaches so that they are able to then qualify to be developed as level 1 international coaches.
So does this course give the participants an upper hand of sorts when it comes to international jobs?
Yes, of course. I mean, once you are licensed as an FIVB Level 1 coaching course, for example, you are then roped into the Volleyball South Africa structures. You form part of the coaching commission. You are then asked to then help Volleyball South Africa in selecting, national teams that are going to represent the country in various international tournaments. For an example, we have what we call the Youth IPT Championships in Limpopo from the 27th to the 30th. We will be selecting a team that will be representing the country at the Region 5 games in Mozambique next year. And therefore, these coaches must then come in. They will be roped in as part of the selection panel. And out of the selection panel, the president will then make a determination in terms of who gets to be selected as a coach that will then coach the team at the international games. So I'm just giving you, one example of, for an example, we're participating in the senior national Zone 6 championships in September in Zimbabwe. And therefore, the president will then choose out of the pool of all qualified coaches who then gets to be the coach for the national team. So yes, to answer your question, it gives you definitely an upper hand in terms of being selected as the national team.
And I understand there was quite an increase in female participants or coaches who attended this course.
Yes, we had about 35% of the participants were female coaches. Something that has really happened for the first time in the history of the Volleyball South Africa. And the president at the beginning of this year declared this year to be the year of women's sport, specifically women coaches, women referees, women players. And we're excited as Volleyball South Africa that, where 35% of the participants were women. And of the 35%, 30% really passed. And it's encouraging. We really want to encourage a lot of women to start participating in the sporting code of volleyball.
And just on that, the pass rate, it's one thing to make these courses available, but it's another thing to see participants actually acing and passing these courses so that they improve. How did the participants do generally in this course?
Look, according to the instructor, the feedback that we got from the instructor is that there were generally a group of brilliant people that really cooperated well with him. He actually said it's the best group he has ever facilitated with. We got 98% pass rate. We would have loved to get 100% pass rate. However, that 2% is really attributed to the practicals. In terms of theory, the participants that did not make it did very well in terms of theory, but when it came to practical, they could not really perform. So one of the things that the facilitator really gave us was that as a coach, you need to be able to demonstrate to the players by doing. And therefore, he's encouraging coaches to also participate in the sport by playing. We know you can be a great coach by not necessarily playing the game, but it would be very nice as a coach to be able to demonstrate to the players what you are able to do. So we believe the 98% pass rate that we got is great. And this is one passing rate that can really take the development of the sporting group.
Yeah, Michael, very briefly, as we are out of time, what does this all mean for the sport in South Africa from your perspective as Volleyball South Africa?
We are excited because this then grows the footprint of the sporting coach in the country. With the 29 coaches, we are then saying they are going to go back to their respective provinces. They are going to then impart the knowledge that they have learned at this course. And when you train one coach, you are training about 500-600 participants. So our message to them is that go out there. Getting a license is one thing, but putting that knowledge, imparting that knowledge to other people is what we're expecting of the coaches. So we're expecting them to develop and grow the game. That's the expectation from volleyball.
All right, Michael, thank you very much for coming through. Michael Makhubela, Volleyball South Africa Vice President, talking to us about the FIVB courses that help in improving coaching in volleyball in South Africa. Well,